Not on the screen, my bad, but welcome back, everybody, to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the most recent and important news articles. That way, I do read-throughs of them, so that way you don't have to do the reading, because we're so busy nowadays. It's like, when do we have a spare time to scroll through the news, see what's going on in the space? But if you do have time to do it, you would notice that Bitcoin touched 100,000, yes, in the last couple of moments. Bitcoin reached the 100,000 mark. It was even 101,000. So woo! And the markets are going crazy right now. It is just a sea of green. This website's called cryptobubbles.net. And it's showcasing the top 100 coins right now. We switch it up. But yeah, after these past couple days when we were just seeing FUD news out there, Arizona didn't pass their Bitcoin reserve bill. And then Florida's pulling out too. But then right up the next day, boom, yesterday, New Hampshire, first state to have a Bitcoin state reserve. And then I was calling it, this is a domino effect, guys. Once one's down, the rest are going to start falling. And what do you know? Less than 24 hours after that, Arizona changed their mind and now signs a law for a state to keep unclaimed crypto. So, woo! So, guys, this is just the beginning. So, if you don't got your Bitcoin now, do it before it's too late, because otherwise you'll be getting a lot less than you could if you just get in now. So, yes, let's go through these news articles. We're going to cover, this Arizona bill being passed, or law being passed. Texas is probably next up in line to be passing it. We got news yesterday that the Federal Reserve did not increase or lower interest rates, but Bitcoin still pumped because of it. We got the Bitcoin conference trying to set a Guinness Book World Record for most Bitcoin transactions in a day. And I think Bhutan launched a tourism pay thing. So we have nothing but Bitcoin news today. So let's go through these articles, learn a little bit about what's happening in the space, and just, stay informed on what's going on. So again, first up is going to be Arizona governor signs a law for the state to keep the unclaimed crypto. So Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs has signed a law allowing the state to claim ownership of digital assets that have been abandoned for at least 3 years. So Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs has signed a bill into law allowing the U.S. state to keep unclaimed crypto and establish a Bitcoin reserve fund that won't use any taxpayers' monies or state funds. And that's always a big issue. People are like, don't use my money for that. So they got ways to acquire some Bitcoin without that. But Hobbs signed the House Bill 2749 into law on May 7th, which allows Arizona to claim ownership of abandoned digital assets if the owner fails to respond to communications within 3 years. Now, the state's custodians can stake the crypto to earn rewards or receive airdrops, which can then be deposited into what Arizona has called a Bitcoin and Digital Asset Reserve Fund. Now, this law ensures Arizona doesn't leave value sitting on the table and puts us in a position to lead the country in how we secure, manage, and ultimately benefit from abandoned digital currencies. Now, the bill's sponsor, Jeff Weniger, said in a May 7th statement, and here is that statement, that Arizona is the first bill in the nation to keep digital assets in their native form for unclaimed property. Following the sign of this bill, HB 2749 updates Arizona's unclaimed property laws as well to account for the growing presence of digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. And the law establishes a clear process for identifying and handling unclaimed virtual future appropriations with legislative approval. So this is amazing, guys, that it's finally here. We are just moved even eons ahead of where I thought how long this is going to take, because I thought we wouldn't be here for at least till the 2030s, but it's only 2025. We got states, we got countries, we got governments all jumping on board the Bitcoin bandwagon. So I love it. So what a time to be alive. But let's continue on. So we've built a structure that protects property rights, respects ownership, and gives the state tools to account for new categories of value in the economy, Weniger added. Now, on May 3rd, Hobbs vetoed a similar Bitcoin reserve bill, the Senate Bill 1025. Okay, so that one still got vetoed. This was a totally another one that was on the table. But this would have allowed the state to invest these funds into Bitcoin, citing concerns over using public funds for untested assets. Now, Hobbs' move gives hope for future crypto bills. The Bitcoin Law's founder, Julian Ferrer, said on X that Hobbs' signing of HB 2749 offers more hope that she may also sign Senate Bill 1373, which is currently on her desk. Now, SB 1373 would authorize Arizona's treasurer, currently Kimberly Lee, to allocate up to 10% of Arizona's budget stabilization fund into Bitcoin. Oh, wow. So that's new, because all the other bills, like the New Hampshire one, was they can invest up to 5% of what they have into digital assets or precious metals. So 10% into the Bitcoin fund. Ho, not bad. Now, the bill's passage in Arizona follows New Hampshire's Governor Kelly Ayotte in a May 6 signing House Bill 302 into law, allowing her state's treasury to use funds to invest in cryptocurrencies with a market cap of more than $500 billion. So this is still like the same rules, like I think with all the states right now. So like this is going to be the requirement for what can go in the reserve. So the cryptocurrency has to be above a 500 billion market capitalization. And I can show you like where you can find that information off CoinMarketCap. So here's CoinMarketCap, where I like doing a lot of my research on coins, get official websites. But here you can see the market cap of tokens. It goes in order. Bitcoin's number one, has a market cap of $1.99 trillion. And then beneath that is Ethereum with a market cap of 247 billion. So it does not meet the 500,000 requirement. So as of right now, only Bitcoin can be invested in. But hey, if any cryptocurrency gets above the 500 billion market cap, they can put it in the reserve. So yeah, so pretty much that's where all the bills and laws are being turned into, or being based off of, just from what I can see. I haven't seen anything different out there. But yeah, so that's great news. Arizona, way to sign that bill. And like, yeah, again, this is a domino effect that's just going to keep on going and going and going. Now, which domino is next to fall? Well, most likely it'll be Texas. So let's go through this article to hear about their strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. So here we go. This is coming from crypto.news. So a bill to establish a Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve has advanced through a key House committee and is headed for a full floor vote. On May 7th, the Texas House Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency approved Senate Bill 21 in a 9-4 vote, clearing one of the final hurdles before it can land on Governor Greg Abbott's desk. Now, initially introduced by Republican Senator Charles Schwertner in January as Bitcoin-only proposal, the SB 21 was later refiled in February to allow for other digital assets with a minimum 500 billion market cap. See, like all the bills, like this is kind of their requirements, 500 billion. But over the past 12 months, Bitcoin is currently the only digital currency that meets this criteria. Now, if passed into law, the bill would allow the state comptroller to manage, reserve, and invest state funds in eligible crypto assets. Now, the bill had previously passed the Texas Senate on March 6th with a 25-5 vote. According to data from Bitcoin Legislation Tracker, Bitcoin Laws SB 21 is not the only crypto-related legislation Texas lawmakers have also introduced this year. Now, in March, HB 4258 was proposed to permit the state comptrollers to invest up to $250 million of the Economic Stabilization Fund into Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But meanwhile, SB 778, introduced in February this year, focuses on accepting taxes and donations in crypto and imposes a minimum 5-year holding period for any Bitcoin acquired by the state. So they were basically just saying, like, we got to hodl this Bitcoin. So it's putting it in the rules that they must hold on to it. So that's just going to make Bitcoin that much scarce for those 5 years because they can't touch it. And again, like Bitcoin's going to dry up. There's only 21 million. So if the states start adding it to the reserve and they're not selling it, they're not moving it, it's just being hodled for the future. Like it's just going to get harder and harder to get any Bitcoin that's out there because how much is in circulation right now? Hold on, let me pull that up. So Bitcoin is currently circulating supply is 19.86 million. So we only have 1 million or 1.14 million Bitcoin left. And we can assume that there's 4 or 5 million Bitcoin just gone and lost forever. So again, like there's really going to only be like 16 million in circulation of Bitcoin. And then we got the states and soon other countries and governments. They're going to be, even institutions, they're just going to be hobbling onto it for a foreseeable future. So we're probably going to be some major Bitcoin price swings action. Like we're getting a lot of news articles out there but just like big influencers or big people in the space, like calling for like, okay, yeah, Bitcoin's going to hit 250 this year. Or now we may see 500,000 or 1 million. Like those predictions are coming back right now. And again, we don't know what's going to happen because, again, this is a new cycle. Bitcoin's not following the traditional 4-year cycle that we've had these last 16 years since it's been around. So this is just exciting time to see where we're going to go. Is Bitcoin going to stop or is it just going to keep blowing through? Because it is honestly the scarcest asset in the world. But let's continue on now with this Texas article still as we hear a little bit more about their bill. Now, Texas isn't alone in exploring Bitcoin reserves. A day before SB 21 passed the committee in Texas, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs signed HB 2749, which we just discussed, into law, creating a Bitcoin and digital asset reserve fund funded by unclaimed digital assets. And then on the same day, New Hampshire, like we covered yesterday, Governor Kelly Ayotte signed HB 302, making it the first state to legally authorize public fund investments in Bitcoin and other qualifying assets. Now, that's up to 10% of the state's general fund can now be invested in digital assets exceeding a $500 billion market cap, again, effectively limiting it to just Bitcoin. Now, currently, 37 strategic Bitcoin reserve bills are under review across 18 U.S. states. The number was initially higher, but many proposals have failed to gain legislative support. But again, that could change. They may just be waiting for like that first domino to fall. And like we saw, like with Arizona, they vetoed one bill, but they passed the next one right after. And then also, Florida became the latest to shelve its Bitcoin reserve plans on May 6th, joining Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, Montana, and Oklahoma, all of which saw similar bills rejected in recent House or Senate votes. So I guarantee once these states like reintroduce their bill, it's going to get passed and pushed through. Like I have that feeling it's going to happen. So Texas is probably in line to be that next domino to fall, and as well those states that did veto their bills or put postponements on it, like they will be back. But this is our Bitcoin reserve news going on. Like it's always coming in every day. I kind of hold off on the news until something actually happens, and it finally did. So woo, this is awesome. Now let's continue on with the news and go and talk about the Fed interest rate just holds steady, but Bitcoin rises. So yes, let's learn a little bit about this. So the central bank's decision came as trade tensions between China and the US appeared to be de-escalated. So the Federal Reserve held interest rates steady on Wednesday as U.S. President Donald Trump tariffs continued to cloud the central bank's economic outlook. Now, at a target range of 4.25% to 4.5%, the Fed was reluctant to change its benchmark borrowing rate for a fourth straight time. Now, the decision was widely expected despite weeks of pressure from Trump on the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, to start slashing borrowing costs. Now, in a statement, the Federal Reserve flagged heightened levels of economic uncertainty, underscoring a data-dependent approach to future policy rate adjustments. Now, the central bank added that risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation have recently risen. Now, although swings in net exports have affected the data, recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. Now, the Fed said in considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data with the evolving outlook and the balance of risks. Now, Bitcoin was recently changing hands around $96,500 after the Fed made its announcement, a 1.7% gain over the past hour, but Bitcoin has risen roughly 22% over the past week, according to CoinGecko. And as of yesterday, yeah, that was a huge, what was that percentage right now? As of right now, Bitcoin's up 4%, but it is still going crazy. Now, economists say that the Fed is in a challenging place as it tries to access how Trump's reciprocal levies could add to inflation in the U.S. or weigh on economic growth. Now, if the Fed holds rates higher for longer to combat any tariff-related price pressures, that may exacerbate a slowdown in the economy stemming from a less consumption and trigger as a spike in unemployment. Now, is that true, the unemployment spike? Every time I've heard that over the years, it's like, can we really even trust those numbers? It just doesn't make sense. I even think I heard Anthony Pompliano mention that in one of his interviews. And it's like, yeah, I just don't trust those unemployment numbers because they're wrong. So I'm not the only one who feels that. But the tariff increase announced so far have been significantly larger than anticipated. Powell said in a post-decision press conference, all these policies are still evolving. However, their effects on the economy remain highly uncertain. So although Trump's tariffs have dented consumer sentiment, the U.S. labor market has so far remained robust. U.S. employees added 177,000 jobs in April, surpassing the consensus estimate, while the unemployment rate, which was unchanged at 4.2%, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics said last week. Now, inflation has also cooled down, inching closer to the Fed's 2% goal as Trump's tariffs threaten to upend trade relationships between the U.S. and other major economies worldwide. Now, a core measure of personal consumption expenditures price index, which stripes out volatile food and energy prices, has long been the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. Now, it rose 2.6% in the 12 months through March, marking a slowdown from the core PCE's 3% annual rise in February. And on Wednesday, traders foresaw a 28% chance that the Fed will cut rates at the conclusion of its June meeting per CMA FedWatch. Maybe you guys gotta wait till June and we'll start seeing those cuts start happening. But among Trump's tariffs, 145% levies on goods from China are among the heftiest. However, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is scheduled to meet in Switzerland with officials from China later this week, suggesting representatives from both nations are now open to de-escalation. So, yeah, those tariffs were a fun time, that's for sure. So, we'll see if he can make any changes there. But the People's Bank in China also moved to support an economy hit by Trump's 145% tariff, lowering lenders' reserve requirement ratio by 50 basis points and reducing its policy's interest rate by 0.10 basis points, among other stimulative measures aimed at specific industries. Now, after an extended period of tariff-fueled turmoil, investors grew relieved last month when the president unveiled a 90-day pause on most reciprocal levies. However, as of July 8th deadline draws closer, investors continue to await for negotiations to result in trade deals. Now, Powell said that Trump's calling for lower interest rates doesn't affect how officials at the central bank are doing their job or their willingness to wait and see how the economy evolves. Now, in closing, we are always going to do the same thing, which is we are going to use our tools to foster maximum employment and price stability, he said. So that's what went down yesterday. But again, like usually when we see the Fed rate not do anything, like if we didn't get a cut, we didn't get a raise in it, like that does affect all the markets out there. But usually when they lower it, markets go up because again it's a little bit less risky. You can borrow against some money out there and buy another asset, so it's just the risk gets lower with it. But then when we see usually rates go up, then the price starts going down because people don't want to take that risk to take out that loan and just take that chance. So but by them also even when they don't do anything, that also kind of stifles the market as well. But right now, because they didn't do it, I think this is kind of abnormal because usually again the price doesn't rise when it just stays steady or it gets increased. So Bitcoin is on the rise. We can see it happening right now, and just there's many factors causing it. Now let's take a quick break, play a quick ad for you, and then we'll be back to continue on with the news. I'll be right back.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here. And it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. All right, let's continue on with the news. What else do I got for you? Well, looks like at the Bitcoin conference happening at the end of this month, which the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club will be there. I think we're even hosting an after party there with the Fold people. I think I heard that on Jay's show this morning. But at the Bitcoin conference, they're aiming to set a Guinness World Record for Bitcoin payments. So this is going to be pretty cool if they can do it. But the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas will attempt to set a Guinness World Record title for the most Bitcoin point-of-sale transactions in 8 hours, showcasing BTC's evolution as real everyday money. So that would be pretty awesome. So Bitcoin Inc., parent company of Bitcoin Magazine, and the Bitcoin conference is putting Bitcoin to the ultimate test at this year's Bitcoin 2025 conference with an official attempt to break the Guinness World Records title for the most Bitcoin point-of-sale transactions in 8 hours. Now, the attempt will take place live during the conference at the Venetian Conference Center in Las Vegas from May 27th to the 29th, 2025. Now, to make this possible, BTC Inc. will issue 4,000 Lightning-ready Bolt cards to attendees, and the cards use a tap-to-pay functionality and feature 4 limited edition designs, each honoring a major figure in Bitcoin's history and advocacy. One will have Senator Cynthia Lummis, another will have Michael Saylor, one will be Satoshi Nakamoto, which I don't know what type of image they're going to be, part of the standard one, the mysterious gentleman, and then Jack Dorsey is in there as well. I guess he is kind of big for it. Still don't like what he did with Twitter when he owned it back in the day. But each attendee will receive randomly assigned designs, making the cards both functional and collectible. Now, Bitcoin 2025 is an opportunity for the community to demonstrate Bitcoin's real-world functionality as a medium of exchange, said Didier Lewis, Chief Financial Officer at Bitcoin Inc. Now, the Bolt card is a key part of this experience, offering attendees an easy way to make purchases using Bitcoin by enabling direct contactless payments across the event, and we aim to showcase Bitcoin's readiness as a modern and practical currency. Because again, a lot of people usually still see it hard. It's like, well, how do I use this? I bought it. Do I sell it? Can I spend it? You can spend it as long as it's accepted. So to assist transactions and user experience, the event will feature on-site activations, including the official Bitcoin Magazine store located at the conference entrance, and the store will sell Bitcoin-themed merchandise, including hardware wallets, apparel, books, and exclusive art. Every item will be available at a 21% discount when paid for in Bitcoin via the Lightning Network. Now, that's a nod to Bitcoin's hard cap of 21 million coins, so that's where they got the 21%. Now, this record-setting attempt comes as the Lightning Network continues to scale and mature, offering the kind of instant, low-fee transactions that make Bitcoin usable for everyday spending. Now, by integrating Lightning deeply into the conference experience, Bitcoin 2025 will highlight the protocol's growing potential for real-world commerce. Now, with over 30,000 attendees, 300 plus exhibitors, and 500 plus speakers expected at the Bitcoin 2025 conference, this won't just be the biggest Bitcoin event of the year, it will be the most transactional one too. So good luck at the Bitcoin conference. This is going to be pretty awesome. I really hope you guys do it, and I can't wait to report on it if you guys do. So that's our Bitcoin conference news for what's going to be taking place down there, other than some amazing panelists that's going to be speaking about Bitcoin and just where we're at, because I'm going to be intrigued. I'll definitely be playing it here live because I'm not going to the conference. Somebody's got to hold down the fort down here. But I will be streaming. I'll probably be here at the club even on the weekends. We're closed on the weekends, but I'll probably still be here just live streaming that event, hearing what everyone has to say, because these conferences, like if you can't go in person, they're just filled with so much knowledge and information just by listening to these smart people out there discuss finance, crypto, how it affects the world. So like you learn so much information. So if you can't attend, like even the Bitcoin conference, that's a big one. Start attending like local conferences, meetups out there, because they're just abundance of information. So that's a good way to help aid your research and learning about crypto. Now let's continue on with the news. What else do we got? We have investor Tim Draper telling businesses without Bitcoin are being irresponsible. So yes, let's hear what he has to say about that. So the billionaire investor and Bitcoin bull, Tim Draper, remains optimistic that the price of Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by the end of 2025. I'm thinking it can be a lot more. Now, the billionaire investor Tim Draper argued that businesses who have yet to purchase Bitcoin for their corporate treasuries are being irresponsible. Now, speaking at the Financial Times Digital Assets Summit, the prominent Bitcoin bull argued that everybody ought to have some Bitcoin, noting that governments are recognizing that Bitcoin should be in their treasury. And like we saw that with Arizona, New Hampshire, and again, eventually it's just going to go down each state. And once all the states have it, then we're going to probably see the state reserve, like not the state, the Federal Reserve Bitcoin bill. So like, yeah, the whole United States one. Now, Draper, who remains optimistic that Bitcoin will hit 250,000 by the end of 2025, added that he hopes to have a fund in the next 5 years that runs entirely on the cryptocurrency. I raise it completely in Bitcoin. I invest it in entrepreneurs in Bitcoin. All of them pay their employees and suppliers all in Bitcoin, which is where we are headed. Now, the fund he suggested would operate on a smart contract enabling taxation and record keeping to be carried out automatically. The blockchain keeps perfect records, and my friction items, my accounting, my legal, my auditing, my bookkeeping, they all go to zero or very close to it. That's for sure. Now, a growing number of companies are adding Bitcoin to their corporate treasuries. Notably, we already know about the firm's strategy. He was definitely the first one. Like his company has under almost 600,000 Bitcoin in their balance sheets. Now, there's also the medical device manufacturer, Semler Scientific, and then we all know about Japanese company Metaplanet. Like they're always at it. I don't even know why there's so many news articles revolving around Metaplanet, because when we hear about two companies buying Bitcoin all the time, there's always a news article from it. It's either strategy or Metaplanet. But Semi-Scientific, that's kind of a new one. We don't really hear too much about them. But just 2 days ago, Bernstein analysts predicted that corporate treasuries will suck in $330 billion in Bitcoin by 2029, as smaller firms copy Strategy's playbook. And I think Saylor did say that he is creating a playbook or playbook, that's what it is. He's creating an actual playbook for other businesses to follow the strategy plan. It's like, this is how we do it. Here you go. So he's actually creating to make it even easier, and then it'll be faster to be able to onboard these companies. Now, Draper also suggests that there's a gravitational pull towards Bitcoin and away from altcoins as platform for development. Now, a lot of creativity used to be around Ethereum and Solana. That's what really dictated our bull run cycles with the altcoin season and everything. But now, most engineers and entrepreneurs are driving it toward Bitcoin. So Bitcoin now has smart contracts. Bitcoin now has DeFi. It has ordinals and runes, which the runes are what we create our share tokens and tokens for the club for the real world assets and everything. But however, Bitcoin's increasing role as a software platform beyond financial applications has proved contentious among its developers community. Bitcoin devs are currently at odds over a technical change that would enable it to store larger amounts of non-financial data directly on the blockchain, with one longtime Bitcoin core contributor arguing that the change would turn Bitcoin into a worthless altcoin. So that's why some of those people are kind of going against it. But Bitcoin's price is currently hovering around 97,000. Well, at the time right now, it's 100,000, I believe. Yep, still 100,000. And and it's, I can't say it's down 11% because we're up, but it's all-time high. We're just about like $9,000, $7,000 away from it, which was back in January when President Trump became. I know it happened like right after President was voted in, not January 11th. And back in November, that's when we hit the 108,000 all-time high. But we're coming back to it. But Draper argued that Bitcoin had yet to reach his predicted 250,000 figure because we were over-regulated for 4 years under the Biden administration, and likened the cryptocurrency to when the Brits discovered gunpowder. Now, it is a complete change, he said. You wouldn't do war the same way after gunpowder. You don't do commerce the same way after Bitcoin, arguing that the cryptocurrency is just better technology. He predicted that eventually, I believe, the path will be fiat stablecoin to Bitcoin, and that ultimately we're eventually going to see at a time where we're really not measuring against the dollar anymore because there won't be a dollar. So eventually that will take place. Like I say that too. Like there's going to be a transition. So Tim Draper thinks it's going to go dollar to stablecoins and then from there to Bitcoin. I think it'll be Bitcoin, it'll be from dollars to stablecoins or Bitcoin. It'll be a combination because I covered an article yesterday about like how it's like might be playing out. It's like you'll be able to use what's more convenient to you. We're not going to be living in a system that's just one or the other. It's going to be whatever is easy. If you're still using fiat, if that's still here, good, use for it. If you're going to be using a stable coin, it'll give you the option for that. If you're using Bitcoin, it'll say use Bitcoin. Or if you want to use credit or debit, same exact thing. Like we see it every day now when we go shopping. It's like you want to pay debit or credit. Just now in the future, you're going to see little different options on there. Debit, credit, Bitcoin, stable coin. So we're going to be living in a run. You're just going to choose what is more easier for you to do. So that's where we're headed. But eventually down the road, 2 years down it, we may eventually switch over to a one network society type of thing. But I think until then, we will be having a dual system still. But that's what the billionaire investor Tim Draper has to say about Bitcoin and how companies are irresponsible for not just adding it to their balance sheets. Now let's move on to our final article of the afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this video. And we're going to talk about how Bhutan launches its tourism crypto payments with Binance Pay and DK Bank. So yeah, Bhutan's tourism department and Binance said that the new venture is the world's first national level crypto tourism payment system. So Bhutan, known for its investments in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, has launched a tourism crypto payment system in partnership with Binance Pay and DK Bank. The system allows Bhutan travelers with Binance accounts to pay for services like tickets, hotel stays, tour guides, and other products using at least 100 different crypto assets, including Bitcoin, USDC, and Binance-backed BNB token. The initiative also opens a payment gateway for businesses in Bhutan, enabling them to accept crypto payments through a QR code on a phone, according to an announcement by Binance on May 7th. Now, this is more than just a payment solution. It's a commitment to innovation, inclusion, and convenience, said Damacho Rinzin, director of Bhutan's tourism department. Now, benefits for small businesses in remote areas. The partnership specifically targets small businesses in Bhutan, such as vendors and rural artisans, who may have never had access to a card terminal or payment infrastructure. Even Bhutan's most remote businesses can now accept crypto through a phone, gaining access to international travelers with just a QR code, the announcement said. And here is the tweet from Binance. Experience Bhutan with the world's first national crypto tourism payment system. Powered by Binance Pay and DK Bank, it offers seamless crypto payments for flights, hotels, over 100 local merchants. There's no need to pack your wallet. Hop on a journey of innovation and inclusive with just your Binance app. Now, Binance said that tourists will be able to pay for services without needing local currency or cash, so there's no need to pack your wallet. Just hop on your journey of innovation and inclusion with just your Binance app, and you should be good. But they're still claiming this is going to be the world's first national level crypto tourism payment system. So Binance and Bhutan Tourism Department referred to the initiative as the world's first national level. And now Bhutan's model is the first to offer a fully integrated end-to-end crypto payment system at the national level. And Binance announcement said, adding that it also addresses previous limitations by offering real-time confirmations, near zero fees, and a fully licensed local bank handling settlements on the ground. Now, Binance CEO Richard Teng emphasized that the system advances crypto payments in travel and sets a precedent for how technology can bridge cultures and economies. Now, here is the tweet from Tourism Bhutan. Experience Bhutan with the world's first national crypto tourism payment system, powered by Binance, DK Bank. You can use it for flights and hotels. And that's kind of an area of Bhutan. That would be cool to pay for a place to stay there. It'd be scary, but I would love to be able to spend a couple nights up there. Now, this initiative exemplifies our commitment to innovation and our belief in a future where digital finance empowers global connectivity and enriches travel experiences, Teng added. Now, Bhutan holds multiple crypto assets, so they're not just adding this to start increasing it. Well, they are, but they've been acquiring crypto and Bitcoin for some time now. Or sometime, I forgot when I got that news about it. But Bhutan the launch of the payment system aligns with its broader embrace of digital assets. The country has been working to set up a strategic crypto reserve as part of the new economic hub, while the government has been reportedly mining and investing in Bitcoin since at least 2019. Now, according to Arkham, Bhutan's commercial arm, Druk Holdings, an investment has added 374 Bitcoin to its stash since earlier of January, increasing its holdings to 12,062 Bitcoin. And additionally, the entity holds a modest amount of on-chains like Polygon, BNB Chain, and Base. And is this their wallet right here they're showing? To Royal Government of Bhutan, the Druk's holding. So yeah, here we can see they own like 12,000 Bitcoin, 656 ETH, 9.97 Link, Phil. Like I don't even know what this coin is, or Phil, or Apu. Kind of looks like a made up Pepe meme coin. No idea. Kipchi, Bobo. So all I know is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they did say they held some BNB on there. But while Bhutan has grown increasingly friendly to crypto's adoption, regulating cryptocurrency remains a legal gray area. In 2020, Bhutan's central bank, the Royal Monetary Authority, issued a warning against the Pi cryptocurrency, urging the public to exercise caution when investing in any crypto asset. The RMA would like to remind the general public to exercise due caution in making any investment in Pi or any other cryptocurrency, as the implication of risks and use cases on the economy and financial systems are still to be ascertained, the authority wrote. So they're still telling their people, it's like, do your research, how everyone should do it. Don't just blindly get into a project because someone told you about it. Do your due diligence, look it up, go to CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. That's where you can get official links. You can get social media sites too off of those platforms, and just take a look at the creators of it. What is the utility behind the token? Just always do your research before you get involved with it. But no, so way to cool Bhutan for setting up this payment system for tourism, Binance, and I do like it. Like I remember when I first got into crypto and Bitcoin and everything, it's like, so how does this solve problems? Like, and I remember like a big thing was like there are still so many people around the world that are just unbanked, and crypto and Bitcoin was banking the unbanked, and they are still doing that again to this day, because they were saying there's vendors out there who never had a POS system or a bank account, but they did have a phone. So now they can accept the fully crypto payment system. So we are still evolving. We're still solving problems out there. And that is just some awesome news. But that is it for everything I got for you. Again, it was just a lot of Bitcoin news. It's a Bitcoin day. We're still above 100,000. Our fear and greed index is at a 53 level. Or let's click refresh and see. I feel like we were bullish. Yep, no, we're still 53. Altcoin season, though, is still moving its way up. So is this the start of altcoin season? Like all week it's been at an 18, 19, but slowly moving away. But when we see the crypto bubbles and everything's just green, green, green and still going up, it's like, this may be the start of alt season, guys. So just keep holding your bags right now and then make your decisions in coming days, weeks, or what you want to do. Are you going to cash out back into cash in the fiat system, or you want to move that all into Bitcoin to continue adding those Bitcoin stacks to your wallet? That's what I'm doing now. First, I was always contemplating on, maybe I'll move into a stable coin where I have a normal cycle and then I'll buy back in at a lower price. Now, my plan totally changed. I'm like fully dead set on just like moving everything I have in an altcoin straight back in Bitcoin, because these are crazy times. And again, if you cannot understand that Bitcoin is the scarcest asset in the world, just keep doing some research, keep following the news, and you'll just see there's only 21 million. You got Bhutan with 12,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrateg's company Strategy has 560,000. I think BlackRock and their ETFs hold the same amount. It's like, it is so scarce. So get in now or forever hold your peace. But that is it. I hope everybody has a fabulous Thursday. I'm going to get some lunch before we have our crypto class here at the Crypto Club soon. And so, yeah, so everyone take care, stack those sats, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.